basically has to be sort of the off-lane version of the DK, but now you have Dragon Knight Grimstroke as a lane, and I mean, if it is the Chaos Knight at the 1 for No Sorry, at least you have someone who's going to be relatively durable, but that combo really gets you directly onto anyone, regardless of matchup.
I would like Cybercats though to have a bit more damage. I think no sorry now when they see the Grimstroke and the DK. Grimstroke is great in terms of damage, but if the storm isn't there once the DK gets his blink stun isn't gonna be enough, especially with the Bane being there with the potential sleep save. So yeah, sure, Bane and the Hoodwink are squishy heroes and they can probably die from the Dragon Tail into an Inkswell, but you're not going to be able to get the big kills in the course, and there could always be turnaround potential depending on what no sorry pick up right now. So I'm not so sure about it. This is going to be a good lane for Cybercats, but still. Then again, they had some issues with the damage in the previous game, and they just picked a carry that solved it. A carry that can fight early. So until we see their position 1, or until we see how they're going to utilize the storm, we can't really say. But it is a problem that they could be facing down the line.
Beastmaster offlane picked up for No Sorry, so gives them, honestly, a little bit of everything there, right? They've got lockdown, they've got some pushing power, they have, honestly, a decent bit of damage from that Beastmaster as well, so a bad choice. The only downside, I guess, is that the Beastmaster is not always the most tough option for a frontline, but you do have a CK in your carry position who kind of makes up for that.
For sure, for sure. You're looking to play division game here. Pugna and the Grimstroke don't want to be caught. Grimstrokes usually are quite okay, unless it's very important for them to stay in the back and not even use their ulti, not even use the Phantom's Embrace, just play off of the Inkswell. This is one of those games where you don't really have a good catch with the with Soulbind. Obviously, you would like a double DK stun, a double Storm Pool, even the double Pugna suck, but you don't really have to do it. So Pugna and the Grimstroke, whilst they're hiding, the Hawks will be finding them. No Sorry's vision game, as I said in the previous game, it was very weak. In my mind, they didn't really place the wards where they should, and when they went for those moves, they didn't really prepare the area of where they want to fight, especially with sentries. That's why they lost the last fight and ultimately the game there. So when a DK can run into your lineup with a Glimmer Cape and just stun whoever he wants. So now with the Beastmaster, it's kind of different. A Beastmaster player will always have good control of the map in terms of vision, and it's actually the supports of Cybercats gonna have to keep themselves somewhat safe. Plus another tool to help you find the Pugna ward, which is or which could be a big factor in fights.
Yeah, just being able to prepare the field, as you said, something that they were a little inconsistent on. So hopefully turn that around this game. Meanwhile, trying to address the issue of that carry option, they take away the Phantom Assassin and the Bloodseeker. So No Sorry kind of know what's up. Like you said, Cybercats with this lineup do feel like they're missing that heavy damage dealer. Say there will still be options in the pool no matter what, but someone like the PA or the Bloodseeker who has that damage and the mobility to sort of maneuver around the fights is not something that they want to have to do.
If Cybercats want to do it, they can go for the Weaver again. This is a pretty good Linken's game, and seeing as they didn't go for the boots on the Weaver in the previous game, you can just go for Maelstrom and then after that go for the Linken. So just rush those two items if they want to do it again. Looking at No Sorry, they have some burst potential for the Weaver this time around, but they had some burst potential in the previous game as well. And last game, I would argue they had better jump. Of course, this game they're gonna have better vision, but it's gonna be a bit easier. But still, saves on the side of Cybercats. Now they're here. You have the Inkswell once there's a shard. You have the Pugna Decrepify. Those two things can definitely help you survive. There it is. It comes out.
Shigetsu has anything even remotely close to the kind of performance that we saw in Game 1, sorry, you're going to some trouble. So, well, now they got to deal with the Weavers. So, oh wow, okay, never mind. No questions. Fast pick. Hey.
This is a good mid-tiny game. Pugna and the Grimstroke are very easy to kill. Weaver isn't that hard of a kill either. You have better vision with the Beastmaster. Even the Hoodwink helps you a bit. A lot of your heroes kind of help you with the damage. The problem I see with No Sorry's lineup is what happens if you don't burst the hero down from 100 to 0. Let's say you jump the storm and he survives on 100 HP. He zips away, suddenly his team jumps in, then when he sees an opening, he re-engages, and you're all dead. So that is the problem I see with No Sorry lineup. But still, this time I like both drafts. Just because we're gonna be seeing a lot of brawling, and it's all gonna start coming out once we have those first blink daggers. So once Manic and the Dragonite get their first blinks, it's gonna be all hell breaking loose around the map. Look at those jumping heroes, the DK, the Storm, and on the other hand you have Tiny with all the vision that he wants. It's gonna be a very, very fast-paced game.
Fast-paced game is exactly the kind of thing that Manic on the Tiny is going to want. My only concern, anytime you see this Tiny mid, right, he picks up something like a fast blink dagger, you go looking for those kills. If you don't stay aggressive, if the Tiny takes even the slightest sort of bit of extra time where he is not sort of making that plays, you end up in almost a coin toss situation where he kind of just drops off of a cliff in terms of his effectiveness. So very interested for No Sorry to see whether they can keep their foot on the gas and make sure Manic stays involved throughout really the whole of the first 20 to 30 minutes.
For sure, for sure. That is what you want from your Tiny. That is the ideal scenario. In this game, though, even if he would kind of start falling off in terms of getting kills, you have a Beastmaster, so you know that Inner Beast Aura is always gonna allow you to transition into a right-clicking core. Plus, the CK is actually quite good at fighting. If the Tiny sees that he has fallen off, that he can't use his blink effectively, he can go back to farming in the jungle while the CK can kind of create space for his mid laner. But it doesn't sound like something that we see too often, but there is a reason that CK is such a popular hero. This guy can do anything apart from catch back into the game fast, and given how strong he is in the laning phase, he usually doesn't really need to catch back up. So I'm actually loving this Tiny pick. I think there's a lot of chances for him to shine. Of course, the one that we would like to see and the one that No Sorry would like to see would be a blink dagger that actually works out.
Yeah, I mean, the paranoia sets in, but as you said, I mean, if the blink comes up and Manic is still finding those kills early, it's really sort of the perfect Tiny play. As speaking of plays, this is a very aggressive move. Fezor, I think Fezor's camera may have been somewhere else there, because they just walk pretty close to him before he realizes that they're there. Honestly, even if he saw them earlier, I don't think he's fast enough to get away, but an aggressive move early for No Sorry to get themselves a kill. It's Manic who gets it as well, so your first blood bonus is into the Tiny's hands, and it's going to make that mid matchup against the Storm maybe a little bit easier for him to bear, as he should get his bottle that little bit faster.
As you mentioned there, Fezor probably once he moved the camera to himself, he closed his eyes, because you don't want to be looking at your hero at that situation. They even blocked the Storm's camps, as you mentioned. I think Igor is gonna be aware of this, so we should be seeing a sentry coming out fairly soon here to unblock it. H2O has one though. He's like, nah, screw you, Storm. I need this one for my lane.
It's a little bit weird. I'm almost certain that they did see that go down, but not going to de-ward it, at least not immediately. So Diego wants the extra sort of farm. He's not going to have it at the moment. But either way, one kill on the board for No Sorry as we start this one off. And we shall see just how aggressively these sort of duos play in these side lanes. Because honestly, both of the offlane duos sort of do have some nice potential in terms of sort of stacking up that lockdown. But all going to come down to the positioning, and up in the top lane you see Black Archangel immediately trying to duel up with Fezor, keep the Grimstroke in a position where he has to stay back and can't really slow down Dream much, although DK Focus with the Dragon Tail is going to always be a little bit annoying.
Yeah, Fezor can't get close. If the Bane and Dream are close, Fezor can die. Okay, we're going to see that right now.
Should have the damage. There it is. Black Archangel even just sort of leaving off so Dream can be the one to get the kill, and No Sorry with 2 quick kills on the board, and now DK Focus has to be kind of careful here as well. He's level 1, so there's no points up in the Dragon Blood for that region, and yeah, you see he's got to stun and back away there, so don't get too far forward there until you actually have the durability to survive in this lane.
There is this time when the DK is level 1, even maybe level 2 with 1 point in Dragon Blood, where he is very, very weak, especially if you go for the Dragon Tail. I actually expected DK Focus to go for the Breathe Fire, because the CK is one of those heroes that just has a ton of damage, you know, so just reduce it as much as possible, make sure that that you can secure the range creep. The stun, yeah, it costs less mana, but not that much less, so as I said, Bane and the CK are very aggressive level 1, level 2, and they can be very powerful there. So I like that they use that timing to deal with the DK, kind of take away his farm, and even kill the Grimstroke once more in this game. So very nicely done by No Sorry, and they're gonna go once again.
Stun, Reality Rift, both there. Brain Sap even coming through. Fezor is absolutely dead, so 2.5 minutes in, this top lane's going pretty damn well. Bottom, yeah, Shigetsu pushes in, last hero taken down. Yond has to be kind of careful here too, and Shigetsu, one more hit. No, Fairy Fire keeps Yond alive. But honestly, Yond would have been sort of extra, right? They got the kill that they wanted there at the start, getting the Beastmaster.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Shigetsu is still gonna get a salve, and this is the strength of the Weaver against the Beastmaster. It's no sorry, they went for the Beastmaster mostly for division in this game. Of course, you're gonna benefit from the inner beast, the pushes, all of that, but vision is the main thing from this hero, especially now when they have the tiny. But he's definitely gonna struggle in the lane. You're playing against two very fast heroes. Your boar slows are definitely not gonna be as effective even when you have the boars on level 2, and it's gonna be harder and harder to lane against the Pugna and the Weaver, especially with the Pugna being one of those heroes. His damage is not to be underestimated, the right clicks, and especially given that the hero is very fast, the fastest hero without the boots in the game pretty much, and that means this Beastmaster is gonna be a target every single time. We can even assume that they're gonna go in again. Oh, H2O before that.
Falling back for now. Tower's actually going to keep him safe, and Shigetsu might just see an opening with the Shikuchi. Doesn't even need it. Okay. Gets the Geminate attack instead, and last hero gets taken down, and that... I think that's the worst thing for your sort of off-lane hero. It's one thing to get taken down because you get outplayed. It's another when you go in, fail to get the kill, and then get punished. It really just sets you back kind of significantly.
Yeah, last hero definitely not feeling himself today. He made a few of those mechanical misses with the spear in the previous game, and now he's definitely making a tactical one.
H2O denies himself to the tower, takes a trip back to the fountain, and would be just fine. So technically speaking, No Sorry will get the kill their way for that, but not a whole lot given up here. Meanwhile, taking a look at the middle lane, as Igor is trying to put some damage onto Manic, not super successful, but this one has been relatively even so far in terms of the last hits and the denies for that matter, so a crazy amount of separation between the two. Probably won't see any change to that until rotations come in, or well, maybe not. Manic, he was so close. Does the toss have the damage?
Very fire.
Ooh.
Infused raindrop, sorry. Ooh.
Yeah, without that range,
it just got delivered.
Would go down, but he's able to walk away. Has to take a trip back to the fountain, though. But while that happens, DK Focus, he gets punished, and well, actually kind of felt like he was past that danger zone with the second point up in the Dragon Blood, but Sorry able to get onto him, and they find the kill.
Yeah, you should never underestimate the CK in the laning phase. The Chaos Strike, 33% chance for it to proc. So every third hit, and it actually deals a ton of damage, you know, with the Bane constantly poking you. You have a stun to pull back, and they actually get the kill. We, of course, didn't see what was happening there, but you can assume that the Bane poked a bit, even the CK, and then finally, when they thought they had the opening, they went for it. But that mid lane, it really surprised me that Igor almost died. If the courier delivered the raindrop like a second before that toss came out, so it was super close though. We're gonna be seeing a fight here around the runes.
Yond is in some trouble, but he's actually lasting a lot longer than I thought he would. Eventually, they'll finish him off. But last hero, this is a problem with those couple of early deaths. He is level 4, nowhere close to the roar. Cybercats knew it, so Igor was able to just push in and help find that kill onto the Hoodwink, and this is going to be important. They really do need last hero to get that roar up, because without it, he's really not much of a threat at the moment.
Actually expected Cybercats to come out much stronger out of the laning stage, but it seems that this top lane is really going bad for them, and of course the mid lane Tiny, we can see the difference between him and the Storm. The difference in there's not much difference in creeps, just because the Storm is killing the ones in the jungle, but Manic he crushed this lane. There's just a big difference between them, and he also got the first blood. So that Blink Dagger, it should be coming out shortly though. Seems like he wants to go for the Echo Saber first. I can kind of understand that. He went for the phase boot so you can get away with it. With the phase boot, you can actually get on top of heroes, and this is not a common item on the Tiny, something that we don't see too often, but it's gonna be fun to see how Manic is gonna make these phase boots work.
Phase Boots Echo Saber will be interesting choice for him. It does still give him sort of that kill potential with the Echo, but without the Blink Dagger, a bit of a question mark on his mobility, but we shall see. In the meantime, up in that top lane, DK Focus is potentially going to get jumped in on. Dream hits him up with the coil. Not the coil, wow. Hits him up with the Reality Rift into the Chaos Bolt. Nightmare is going to be there to keep him locked down, and, well, just going to let him sort of sit there and stew for a second with the Nightmare on him, but they do find the kill. Dream 3-0-2, top of the net worth. This lane has gone spectacularly for him.
This looked like someone raising his hand to high-five you and then slapping you across the face. That is pretty much how DK felt there for a second. Dream, just going for that high-five and then just killing him half a second later, though. Bane caught in the river.
I'll give him a little bit of credit there. He does dodge out the Inkswell stun with the Nightmare, but doesn't really help him live. Black Archangel taken down. Fezor, though, is going to get traded out here. Stream really just doesn't have a whole lot to be afraid of at the moment. Nearly done with his armlet, and I think this is something Cybercats are going to have to be really kind of afraid of, because the CK is one of those heroes, Harry, who is capable of getting involved in fights more. He's not that sort of AFK farmer that we see from some of the other carry options.
And he's hard to kill, and we talked about Cybercats actually having some damage issues on their side. The problem again though is Shigetsu, 9 minutes in, he's gonna have a Maelstrom, so damage issues, what is that exactly? These supports are gonna melt again. Sure, now the side of No Sorry, their cores are a bit tankier, but it doesn't mean they're still gonna survive. You know, you got a bug on the CK and you're still gonna be doing massive amounts of damage. No amount of HP is gonna help you against the Weaver just bashing your head in constantly, and the Maelstrom procs being there. And there it is. The Maelstrom will be done. Shigetsu once again has having a perfect game. Yes, the CK is matching him, but I think that No Sorry should be afraid just because of what happened in the previous match.
It does feel like under most circumstances, your Weaver is also going to sort of have the edge in terms of farming speed compared to the CK as well. So maybe the solution for No Sorry is to get Dream involved in those fights, just try and make up the difference in farming speed with feeding him as many kills as you can. But right now it's Cybercats who are looking to push forward. They actually did spot out the CK. They're going to jump straight in onto him. This is not an easy kill by any means, and yeah, this is getting a little bit awkward, but the Inkswell stun is going to be there, but Black Archangel's into the fight as well. Manic is going to TP over. They do find that kill. Is there going to be a response? Avalanche was not very useful. As you said, with the Weaver coming, they just know they have the damage to keep pushing forward. H2O somehow nabbed both of those kills, so it's a double kill for your support Pugna, but who gets the kills is not important. The fact that you got into that opposing jungle at the 10-minute mark to find those kills is the far more important aspect.
Man, if Dream didn't get stunned up by the Ogre Bruiser, I don't even know if Cybercats would jump on him. The second that they saw that one, that's when they jumped. And that's something that shouldn't happen. Right now, like, if you're not playing Dota too often, you might forget about that one, given that it wasn't in the game even like 2 months ago. But these guys, they're pro players. They should be playing a lot of pub games every single day, and he just gets stunned up by the Ogre Bruiser, the easiest thing to dodge. He kind of announces to the entirety of the world that he's gonna punch you. So very weird coming out from Dream, but we could see Cybercats there having some damage issues, but still, you know, if you're hitting on someone, he's eventually gonna fall. What I like from No Sorry is though last hero, he uses that time to rotate to the mid lane. He's gonna be opening that up, and I think with this mid lane tower falling, that Manic might actually decide to go for the Blink Dagger first. There's no mid tower, which means it's gonna be much easier to catch people around the map.
And we actually see him kind of saving up more money than he would need to if he were trying to just start onto that Echo. So, yeah, as you said, yep, there it is. The Blink Dagger picked up, and honestly, I think that that's probably the better play than the Echo, at least in the sort of short term for No Sorry. What do you think?
I think if the tower hadn't fallen so early on, if they would have trouble with Cybercats constantly putting someone in the mid lane, that he would get the Echo Saber, because when there is a tower, you know that you're gonna be able to run into someone. You're relatively okay with the phase boots. Now with the tower being down, you can go around the map killing. So I definitely think the Blink Dagger is the way to go. And there's the reveal. Nice kill. They want to go for more though.
Gonna try and turn. Dream pops the Phantasm. There's going to be the Bean's Grip. They lock down Igor. Black Archangel, he's just not being touched in the river. They're going to get the follow-up stun. There's a Sharpshooter coming out as well. DK Focus and Igor both go down. Shigetsu will try to salvage kill or two here. He gets the first. Looking for the second onto the CK, but the Nightmare's going to put him under. Needs to be removed by Fezor. Not able to do so just yet. He will get around to it eventually, but that buys Dream the time. He's going to toggle off that armlet. That forces Shigetsu to pop the ult. They will miss on that second kill. They at least get Manic there, I suppose, but Cybercats, you lost 3, including 2 of your core heroes before that Tiny was eventually taken down.
Good reveal. Good reveal of the Blink for sure on the side of No Sorry. The Tiny with the Blink, he doesn't mind dying, especially after 2 of the cores died. It got a little bit hot there for No Sorry with the Weaver running in, but they you know, at a point it looked like, okay, Black Archangel, he used the Nightmare to for the Weaver to dodge the Chaos Bolt, but that Chaos Bolt wouldn't have killed him and it wouldn't have kept him away for long enough. So that sleep was definitely well placed, just to make sure that your CK gets out, and Dream surviving that one will be a big deal. He's going for an Orchid, so I think this Weaver will be needing a defensive item fairly soon, and it is going to be a Maelstrom into a Lincoln Sphere. Of course, he did get a Dragon Lance in there, so Shigetsu, he does have some tankiness, but I think if he gets silenced up by the Orchid, that he's just dead.
Yeah, that Lincoln's going to be kind of important for him. Meanwhile, looking at DK Focus, that Blink Dagger is not exactly an imminent purchase. He's still about 700 or 800 out from it, so that could be a momentum shifter once he gets it, get that DK form into the stun play, but they need to create a little bit of extra space for him to actually pick that up, because his top lane really was not great. He's sitting at 0-3 now, so not a whole lot of fun, but last hero may have just been baited in. They're going to jump in onto him. Good start from Igor. There's that combo. You throw out the Inkswell onto him. That's a stun that last hero simply can't dodge. Trying to do a little bit too much there for the Beastmaster, considering he was by himself.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you could have expected that people are going to go for DK Focus. You want to kill the DK wherever he is, because before he has the Blink, Cybercats are pretty much helpless, and they're most likely going to leave him alone, though. A nice read coming out from Cybercats, that there was a potential hunt coming out for him, especially with last hero probably feeling himself now, where he did get 2 towers, though. Mid lane.
Okay. Nice and easy play there. Manic blinks in. They get the Avatos. Yond with the Sharpshooter finishes it off. And those are the plays that are going to potentially keep Cybercats on the back foot just a little bit. It's not a very long death timer for your Pugner, though, so he should be back in pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Shigetsu is playing a little bit dangerously here, farming on his opponent's side of the map, but, well, they would need a lot of lockdown. They would need to chain 2 or 3 spells together really to have a shot at actually killing off them. So Shigetsu feels, at least for now, relatively safe, and progress towards that Lincoln Sphere is underway.
He was under his own vision. Now, when that ward is down, he might even feel threatened going for the first big camp there on the top lane. Not even going up the hill to farm that camp. I think that would pretty much be suicide. But it seems like Cybercats, they want to fight on the bottom lane. They just want to fight right now because they know there's some squishy heroes on the side of No Sorry.
They just can't close this gap right now, though. DK Focus, without the blink, wasn't able to get in, so the Inkswell stun misses. And now, considering Igor used all of his mana to zip in, They've got to try and back him out. Fezor, meanwhile, is getting run down by the top-helmed creep, so he will die. DK Fogus dying as well. He was so close to his blink there, so that's going to set him back by another minute or two, but maybe just trying a little bit too hard. The Storm, well, he blew through too much mana, really.
Yep. There is no fight without your Weaver. There is literally no fight without Shigetsu. Just like in the previous game, Cybercats, they need to put the Weaver out there. Though this time around, no sorry, they're not gonna make a mistake around the enemy tower because they have this Beastmaster and the hero is not gonna diving. What?
Silence. He didn't see the Orchid coming. He got locked down, and well, that's the reason why he needs that Lincoln. So Dream able to do it by himself, and no sorry, have a real opportunity here. I mean, without Shigetsu, they could potentially push this high ground, although Manic needs a little bit of help. There's going to be the Roar, though. He actually goes for the toss-back play onto DK Focus, but here comes Igor, zipping in, gets the Vortex onto 2. They'll pull Manic back in and kill him off. But not enough mana for the Storm to do much more than that. However, Harry, it feels like they made the play they had to make, right? They find the kill onto the Tiny, and they save their Tier 3 tower.
Yeah, for sure. Though, you know, it's still a big deal for No Sorry that their carry accomplished alone what the 5 of them couldn't accomplish in the previous game. So Dream is definitely going to be showing his team how it's done. You're looking at one last hero. This is how you kill someone. This is how you stun them and you finish them off. So he doesn't have trust in his team any longer. It's going to be him taking the initiative here. So that's a really big one. Still, that's the Orchid reveal. So I still think it was a mistake from Shigetsu not to play with his team. He has hit perfect timings. Even if he would get stunned up, there is a chance they can cut the tree down from the bushwhack. They can use the Decrepify and allow him to use the time lapse and then just continue fighting. Now, No Sorry are super strong, and they're not gonna stop going forward.
Quick kill onto H2O. Can they find anything else, though? They did get the silence onto the Storm. They're going to stun him up with the Chaos Bolts as well, but DK Focus is in there with a stun of his own. They're going to try to keep Igor safe, and, well, I mean, they're successful on that front. The problem is...
Bushwhack.
Yeah, it's going to cost him everyone else. DK Focus dead, Fezor taken down. Inkswell doesn't even go off as he dies too soon, and... well, don't quite have the answers just yet. The Storm is closing in on a BKB, just finished it off now, so that could change things. BKB on your Storm, Lincoln's almost done on your Weaver. Now you can be a little less afraid of some of that lockdown, but in the meantime, No Sorry are going to push into the Roche pit. They do get through this pretty damn quickly, so I don't know if Cybercats A, know this is happening, and B, can even reach it in time, but they are smoking up. They're going to push their way forward. No Sorry will show some respect to that by backing themselves away. Now we're going to have a bit of a stalemate around the pit.
The Hawk kind of scouted the heroes of Cybercats getting closer for a smoke, and it gave No Sorry the cue. It seems like this is what No Sorry were lacking, a vision hero. The Beastmaster is literally giving them everything. They can choose their fights, and I kind of expected the last game to go this way. Though, you know, guys, we're not that great at securing the vision. Well, let's just pick a hero that does that for us. And now they're actually playing well around it. They know that their enemies are in an aggressive position. They're gonna go forward.
Okay.
Walking to the pit.
Pushing for it. Things are coming out, though. The Hawk spotted. There's Manic making the jump. Not able to kill anyone off just yet, but H2O does get sniped out. Yawn finds the kill. But now here comes the response. They're going to zip their way forward, trying to get onto the Beastmaster. That Nightmare, though, buys a little bit of time, so last hero turns around, drops the Roar. Meanwhile, Dream finished off Roshan. He's got an Aegis and he wants to fight. Look at the CK pushing his way forward. Going to get the Reality Rift there onto DK Focus. Tries to hit him up with the stun with the Chaos Bolt. They will connect. Now they're onto the Weaver as well. Bushwhack blocking him down. Toss comes through. The Weaver doesn't get the chance to time-lapse. He's taken down. Now the Nightmare onto Igor means the Storm is sort of trapped here. They get the Fiend's Grip down onto him. This is quite literally the worst case scenario if you're Cybercats. You lost 4, no kills, no contest on the Roche. And No Sorry, really just taking control at this point.
you kind of have to wonder. The Weaver's kill death assist score kind of makes you wonder. He had 20 kills and 1 death in the previous game, and now already has 2 deaths in this one. So definitely not looking good for Cybercats. No, sorry, they've hit their momentum. They managed to utilize the tiny blink dagger multiple times. I think the main thing of this game is that mid lane tower fell for Cybercats way too fast. When you look at No Sorry, yeah, they have good heroes for a push, especially because of the Beastmaster, but you had to commit much more to defend that mid lane tower, and I'm looking mostly at the Weaver. He needs to be there with the TPs, and now they're going for a smoke. They know that this is the timing for them with the Weaver and the Lincolns, and they have to defend the last tier too, because if this one falls, it's gonna be free reign around the back for No Sorry.
This is not the initiation they wanted. Igor already used up all of his mana. He's at half HP. The BKB is just going to be used for him to fall back, and the bushwhack.
They caught him.
Oh, that timing is so perfect from Yond. They shut it down.
They're not done.
They're going for even more. Avalanche Toss connecting onto 4. H2O is sort of the furthest one back, but they don't want him. They're looking for more valuable kills. DK Focus is the one that they're trying to finish off. They don't manage to do so, but they will get Fezor, and never mind, they get DK Focus anyway. The Roar is going to be there. They take him down. H2O stuck on the back line. Shigetsu was able to time-lapse himself, so he stays alive, but alive for what? There isn't really a fight here. Maybe he can catch Dream toggling? No, not really. Doesn't want to go back in. He knows he's the only one up, so... Boy, Cybercats, they just can't seem to hold their ground in these engagements, and... I'm not really sure what the Storm can change here, because he can't get much closer to try and save on mana, but if he's jumping from that far away and not hitting anyone, his effectiveness is just kind of gone.
Okay, so with the last tower falling, what is the Storm doing? Okay, he TP'd out. Okay, so with the tower falling on the top lane, the last tower one, and you playing against the Beastmaster in this kind of a scenario, the only thing that Cybercats have left for them are smokes into a pickoff. That is the only thing that's gonna keep them in the game. They cannot hold the triangle without the tower. If the enemy's just running in with the smoke, they will get him out. They cannot farm, because if they split, the Hawk Vision will see them and they will die. So Cybercats, they have to move. They have to move together, and they have to move aggressively. It might just lose them the game faster, but it is something you have to do. If you just continue to play as 5 on one part of the map that you're controlling, first of all, you're going to be losing in farm. Second of all, if the enemy smoke into you, you will lose the fight 100% just because of the discrepancy in farm. So I'm looking at Cybercats right now. Is there any big item that they want to wait for? They have the Ag Shard on the Grimstroke. They have the BKB on the Storm. Weaver isn't close. Okay, he's close to the Mjolnir. Maybe they'll wait for the Mjolnir and then go in, but I don't think Nosar are going to wait for that. So I just would want Cybercats to fight right now, because they're not going to have much chance to do it later on.
Yeah, and as you said, I think you sort of hit the nail on the head. If you fight and lose, then you might lose the game. But if you choose not to fight and just sort of sit and wait, then you definitely lose the game. So you have to take the risk, because you don't really have any other choice. So it shall see how they do it. That Mjolnir, as you said, is very nearly done. So Shigetsu's going to kind of dangle himself out there just a little bit to get that farm, but he should... Oh, I was going to say he should be okay, but Manic actually caught him, but... Needs to buy enough time for his teammates to arrive, and the timing's not quite right, so... Lincoln's popped, Shigetsu gets away. Still doesn't have the Mjolnir, but at least he's not dead. That's the most important aspect, and they live to fight another day, but Nosari have successfully sort of corralled their opponents back into their base.
You know what? It's not only how long you live, but the quality of life. If you're just stuck in your base all the time, I think maybe Shigetsu would rather go into the other world. But finally, they do smoke up, so they understand. The problem is that Nosari are now together. All of the lanes are pushed in, so this is not gonna work. But again, you have to do it. You don't have much choice left.
Got to try and make some sort of play happen. Mjolnir, though, was completed, so Getsu has that. The Aegis has now timed out, so timing-wise, things could be coming together for Cybercats, but they need to actually find a target, and they need to be the ones initiating. The problem is, since they go for that outpost, Nosari know exactly where they are. They're going to smoke up as 5 and try to push their way forward, hoping for the initiation. They're going to catch onto H2O first, not the most valuable target. Well, it's a free kill. Might as well take it, but the rest of the lineup is going to get away. Shigetsu, though, TPing out just yet to try and get maybe a little bit of extra farm, maybe even just cut a creep wave here to remove the bottom lane as an option for this high ground push. Not a bad play.
I think No Sorry can really make a fast move. Just what they did right now, just a bit faster. Run towards the enemy base, force out everyone to TP. Then claim the triangle. With that triangle, you're gonna force out Cybercats to move towards the bottom part of the map, and that's where you can catch them. Just you need to do it a little bit faster. Trying to catch the Weaver with the Bane.
Oh! That is a disaster. He immediately popped the Lincolns, gets the Fiend's Grip down. Manic is going to come in with the Avalanche. The toss, though, actually hit a creep. They didn't have the vision there preemptively, so Shigetsu might just live. The roar is blocked by the Lincolns. He is making an escape. But here comes Yond looking for the angle. Can he get the Bushwhack down? No, he can't. Shigetsu is going to try for the TP out. Can he get away? No, he can't. They cancel it with the Avalanche. They are going to be able to kill him off. Dream, meanwhile, solo killed Fezor elsewhere on the map. So now Cybercats are down 2 heroes, and Shigetsu didn't have any buyback there. So he's dead for a minute. And No Sorry at this point should simply be able to go for some sort of high ground push really anywhere they want.
I actually expected Black Archangel not to get anything off, but given that he got the Fiend's Grip off, I would rather he went for the Nightmare. Then the kill would have been certain immediately. But you know, if you do have a Bane, going for chase skills is actually fine. Though against the Lincolns, I still think Shigetsu shouldn't have been caught by that one. Again. No Sorry, go towards the enemy base, force them back. When you force them back, take control of the triangle. Now the Roche is coming, so you can go for the Roche. But if you want to really crush their spirits and just completely take over the game, after you take the triangle, you just wait for a few seconds for the first wave to outpush out of the base, and then you smoke. You're gonna know that Cybercats are out of their base. If they're in their base, then you just do whatever you want because you know that you're just passively winning the game. But that would be the fastest like 1-2 move that you can make right now, that is very easy to just end the game, that is already somewhat yours. I don't really see No Sorry losing this, but you always want to end it as fast as possible in the scenario so that you don't get any unsuspected circumstances just coming out at you.
And yeah, I mean, you're up 31-9. You got a 16k net worth lead, but every minute you haven't closed it out is, technically speaking, a minute where Cybercats have a little bit more time to live, a little bit more time to farm, and work towards a theoretical comeback. So you're No Sorry. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but you also don't want to make sure that you're not taking too long and dragging your feet, giving your opponents that extra time. But right now you see them kind of hanging out near the Roche pit. This would be a long wait, though. 2 minutes still for that Roche respawn, so timer's not really working in their favor. Meanwhile, Cybercats, well, it's a 5-man smoke, but they still haven't actually left. Yeah, they haven't left the base yet, and they decided they don't actually want to do that.
But you see how it looks. The second they push out 1 or 2 waves, they smoke. The problem is they forgot to push out the top lane, and then they stayed in the base. But I think No Sorry can literally allow them to come out of the base. It's very easy to end the game in these scenarios. You can see that No Sorry just want to play it safe, so they'll wait for the Roche. Unfortunately for them, it's gonna be the longest Roche respawn, almost full 3 minutes. So it's gonna give some time to Cybercats to get some big items. The BKB on the Weaver is probably the biggest one that we're looking at, and Ags on the Grimstroke, yeah, I guess you would love that one, but just not that good of a painter just yet.
And Fezor finding that much farm in the next sort of 2 minutes is maybe asking a little bit too much for him. But hey, if you're Cybercats, the alternative at this point was this game sort of already being over, so you will take the extra time as long as it's being given. But over on the other side, Dream has finished off his heart, so this CK is not quite impossible to kill, but about as close as I think you can reasonably get.
Let's see, Cybercats, how do they do 4.5k damage? The CK runs into them and he's alone. I'm kind of looking at that one. So yeah, not impossible. There is a possibility that the Dream decides to die, because look at this. I don't really see how they kill him. Like, he has 4.5k HP with the armlet on, and Cybercats, they have damage issues, plus they have no items. Literally, other than the Weaver, no one possesses any damage item. At least the Storm will be getting an Axe. So you're gonna have the AoE lockdown with, again, no one to kill the enemies.
Yeah, that just kind of, that will be the problem. Shigetsu's the only one who has even the slightest bit of damage. DK Focus What is he even working on? Got the shard. He's queued up a lens. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but this has been the problem for this DK. He really has been a non-factor. His net worth is in the basement right now, so not a whole lot to be done from him. Meanwhile, no sorry. Their wait for Roshan has come to an end, and they're able to get through this pretty quickly.
That's always gonna happen when you have the Beastmaster. The CK actually isn't that bad at Roshan. DK Focus, he's seeing that decoy, or does it mean that the decoy sees him? Lincoln 1? He might actually live.
Okay. Able to get himself out of there. Last hero, unfortunately, doesn't have a blink of its own. It actually just got delivered, so yeah. Shift that timeline maybe 10 seconds forward and he can close the gap, but I don't really think they need to care too much about that. It would have been a nice kill, but they still have so much strength right now. They're just going to sort of force it through, barrel their way into the base, and they're just going to look for the fight. They get onto the DK, they silence him up. The Roar's going to be there as well, and they just blow him up. They have the sharpshooter hit to help out. DK Focus is dead. There is a buyback available for him. They're going to try and just hold with this glyph, but Dream... Oh my god, Dream. Just directly back in. They'll take down Fezor. Buybacks are going to come through. They did get a Vortex down onto that Chaos Knight. Okay. That's the first life. Can they do it again, though? BKB is being swapped into the inventory. Now Manic comes in to try and provide a distraction, and they're simply going to try and turn around. But Igor, on the back line, does get the Vortex down onto Chu. Shigetsu's trying to dish out the damage as well, but yeah, Fezor and DK Focus both go down. H2O is just running for his life, and this is the problem with the Weaver being the only person to do any damage. He can't even really kill anyone, and we haven't seen the call just yet at this point, Harry, but I don't know how much Cybercats have left to work with. Igor comes in to try and go for the play, but the Fiend's Grip actually catches him out. Black Archangel was just waiting on the back line, and Dream takes him down. Actually gets the Rampage, the window, just wide enough for that to continue on. So he closes out the game with the Rampage. The GG is called, and no sorry. I mean, they must have been pissed off after dropping the first game. They played like an angry team, and they take the win.
Yeah, that was definitely an angry team for sure. You know, you get the lead, and you're not even trying to end the game fast. You're trying to destroy your opponents, and then you're not waiting for any openings. You just come to the base and jump in. DK Focus, you saw he escaped there from his enemies, but and then TP to the base and like, I'm safe. Nowhere is safe. Literally, I don't even think that in the fountain he would survive against Dream, because Dream was doing so much damage there in that fight, and no sorry did all they could to kind of match the Weaver's performance in the previous game with their CK. Not quite there just yet with the kills, but definitely no sorry. A very, very clean game, much cleaner than Cybercats did in the previous one. I have to say, this is what I expected the previous game to look at. Then Shigetsu surprised us, but for some reason in this game he just didn't provide that much. The main point I'm gonna make: last game he was defending the mid lane tower, TPing to the mid lane. This time around he was just focusing on the farm, with the mid lane tower falling down so early and the Tiny getting the blink. Well, the rest was history. It was just way too easy for no sorry.
I mean, this was exactly the execution that we needed to see from them in the previous match that they sort of fell flat with, but this time they were everywhere that they needed to be, really. Fantastic performance from them to tie up the series, and now, well, now they've got a bit of momentum going their way, right? Heading into the final game of this series. So they're the ones maybe with a little bit more confidence, whereas Cybercats are the team that now might be looking to make adjustments.
Yeah, for sure. When the series started, I expected this to be a 2-0 for no sorry, so Cybercats definitely surprised me. But again, they banned out the Visage. You could see Cybercats are actually unsure of what to do. Even though the Visage wasn't that big of a part in the previous game, it did give them some confidence and an idea of how to move around the map. It seems like without it, even though they need to do relatively the same thing, they just don't feel as confident to do it. So I'm not sure what the play is for Cybercats. If no sorry, get rid of some of their comfort heroes. Maybe just get it through your head that you don't need that hero to play well. You know, it's not like the Visage itself was winning the early game for them in game number 1. Either way, no sorry, they get a clean win, and I kind of think we're gonna be seeing a replay of game 2 in the decider.
Well, we shall see. That deciding match is on its way in about 10 to 15 minutes here, so we will be stepping away for just a little bit. When we return, third and final match. One of these two teams going to be moving on. So stick around.